Hey, you want to buy a subscription? They're free. It really helps me out. Just give it a little click. The long-awaited history of the entire world, I guess, by Bill Wurtz. Let's hop right in.
Hi, you're on a rock, floating in space. Pretty cool, huh? Some of it's water. Fuck it. Actually, most of it's water. I can't even get from here to there without buying a boat. It's...
Wait. Wow, this is moving really fast. And also, without buying a boat, and then it shows the plane. I think I'm gonna like this one. This is insane. Okay. I just have to adjust to the pacing because I was not expecting that. This is a 20-minute video, so if they're cramming everything in there, it's gonna have to be fast-paced.
sad. I'm sad. I miss you.
How did this happen?
I miss
A long
you.
time ago, actually never, and also now, nothing is nowhere. When? Never. Makes sense, right? Like I said, it didn't happen. Nothing was never anywhere. That's why it's been everywhere. It's been so everywhere you don't need a where. You don't even need a when. That's how every it gets.
Whoa. Guy's delving into the deep mysteries of the universe here. I didn't know this was a philosophy video. Can you really argue that logic, though, considering how we originated in the Big Bang and how we seemingly came out of nothing and then we're suddenly here, where space and time had no meaning prior? Is that what he's going to talk about right now, the Big Bang? I thought this was just the history of the world. I think I broke it.
Forget this. I want to be something, go somewhere, do something. I want things to change. I want to invent time and space. And I know it's possible because everything is here and it probably already happened. I just don't know when to start. And that's exactly where it started. Oh, I paused it. I think there's a universe now. What's it
Is that the CMB, the cosmic microwave background that they're showing right there? Okay, so we're starting at the beginning of the universe. This is really going to be fast-paced.
made of?
Corks and stuff.
Ah, that's a thing. In a place. Don't like it? Try a new place. At a different time. Try to
Trademark.
stick together because the world is going to get bigger and emptier. But it's not empty yet. It's still very full and about 1,000,000,000 degrees. Great news. The quarks are now happily married in groups of 3 called a proton or a neutron. And there's something else flying around too that wants to join in but can't because it's still too... Great news. The protons and neutrons are now happily married to each other. Some of them even doubled up. Great news. The electrons have now joined in. Congratulations. The world is now a bunch of gas in space. But it's getting closer together.
10 million years.
And it's getting closer together. It's a
Star.
I absolutely love this. Oh my god. I wonder where this guy gets the inspiration for this from. The pacing and just the style of it. Because this is like... How old is this video actually? Because this is like super classic, like way early internet flash days almost. Like maybe at the end of the flash days, the sunset, if you will. But this reminds me a lot of like that older internet. And I am loving it. It is super fast paced. It's got the quirky effects that just keep your interest on it.
new shit just got made. Some stars burn out and die. Bigger stars burn out and die with passion and make some brand new, way crazier shit.
Space dust.
Which allows newer, more interesting stars to be made and then die and explode into.
Even crazier space dust.
So now stars have cool stuff around them, like rocks, ice, and funny clouds, which can make some very interesting things. Like this ball of flaming rocks, for example. Holy shit, we just got hit with another ball of flaming rocks. And it kind of made a mess, which is now...
The leading theory for how the moon was formed was that a protoplanet collided into the Earth. And basically that caused a huge mess. The Earth was basically a surface of magma at that time. And yeah, it all settled down and became the moon. So the moon mostly originated from the Earth, aside from, that protoplanet. But that's actually one of the things that people think is responsible for the distribution of ores and rare earth elements that should normally be heavier and sink, like gold and lead and stuff like that, is asteroids, or in this case a protoplanet, but more commonly asteroids actually disturbed the Earth as it was kind of cooling from this magma state into a hardened crust. And that's why we can find gold in some places of the Earth and not in others, is because it was disturbed by an asteroid and it was able to settle into place before, it was all still molten. Super interesting to think about.
Weather update. It's raining rocks from outer space. Weather update. Those rocks
See?
might have had water inside them, and now there's hot steam in the sky. Weather.
I actually read somewhere that over half of the water on Earth today is older than the Earth. And that's an estimate, of course. But that means that over half of the water here, or somewhere around half, likely came from older sources like an asteroid, that protoplanet, whatever it may have been. But it predates the Earth.
Weather update. Cooler temperatures today, and the floor is no longer lava. Weather update. It's raining.
Best game
Severe
ever.
flooding alert. The entire world is now an ocean. Volcano alert.
That's land.
There's life in the ocean. What?
Something's alive in the ocean.
Oh, cool. Like a plant or an animal? No, a microscopic speck. It lives at the bottom of the ocean and eats chemical soup, which is being served hot and fresh, made from gnarly space ingredients left over from when it was raining rocks or whatever. Oh yeah, and it can do that. It has secret instructions written inside itself telling it how to build another one of itself. So that's pretty nifty, I would say.
A lot of estimates say that life started basically as soon as it was possible for life to exist on the planet. As soon as we had the sulfur vents and the mineral vents at the bottom of the ocean, as soon as it was no longer molten, as soon as basically the conditions were right that life could survive, life started. And that's actually super promising, because that means if life started so early on in the period that it was possible for life to start here on Earth, that means that the chances of life existing elsewhere are very, very high. Now, it's very hard to detect microscopic life through a telescope on another planet. So it might be a while. As the saying goes, life will go on. Might need to be amended to life will also begin when possible.
Tired of living at the bottom of the ocean?
Now you can eat sunlight.
Using a revolutionary technique, you can convert sunlight into food.
Taste the sun.
Side effect, now there's oxygen everywhere and the sky's blue. Then the Earth might have been a snowball for a while, maybe even a couple of times.
Yeah, he's going really fast-paced here. He just covered an ice age or two in like a sentence. We're really skipping through. This is extremely fast-paced. I'm loving it. It keeps you so engaged. Kind of makes it a little hard to get commentary in there, but wow, this is amazing so far.
It's a sponge, it's a plant, it's a worm, and some other types of weird, strange water bugs and strange fish.
It's the Cambrian explosion.
Wow, that's animals and stuff. But we're still in the ocean. Hey, can we go on land? No. Why? The sun is a deadly laser. Oh, okay.
Not anymore, there's a blanket.
Now the animals can go on land. Come on, animals, let's go on land. Nope, can't walk yet. And there's no food yet, so I don't care. Okay, will you learn to walk if there's plants up here? Maybe, said some bugs. And fish. Okay, so I can go on land, but I have to go back in the water to
Have babies.
learn to use an egg.
I was already doing that.
Use a stronger egg. Put water in it. Have a baby on land in an egg. Water is in the egg. Baby in the egg, in the water, in the egg. Works for me.
What? have a baby in an egg, in the water, in an egg, on land, by the water, in an egg.
Bye, ocean.
And now everything's huge, including bugs. Want to see a map of the land? Sure.
I actually think that I read somewhere that one of the reasons why things were more huge back then, generally speaking, and could get huge, like the titanosaur and whatnot, was because of the higher oxygen concentration back then. Now, I don't really remember the reasoning behind that, but I seem to remember it being directly related to the higher oxygen concentration. The same thing like with the red forests. They developed during a time when there was a lot higher oxygen concentration, and that allowed them to grow much, much bigger than any new species could today.
Oh fuck, now everything's dead. Just kidding, we're the survivors. Keep your eye on this one because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart, don't worry about it, it does that all the time. Here comes
It's like a boy band. It just breaks apart. Wait, no, that is not an asteroid. We are not skipping through the entire 165 million years of dinosaurs in 5 seconds, are we? No way.
this one because it's about to become the dinosaurs. Here's another map of the land. Yeah, it broke apart, don't worry about it, it does that all the time. Here comes a meteor.
And the dinosaurs are gone.
Yeah, we're really fast-paced in here. I love it.
It's mammal time. Here come the mammals. Look at those breasts. So now they're gonna dominate the world, and one of them just learned how to grab stuff and walk. No, like walk like that and grab stuff at the same time. and bang rocks together to make pointed rocks. Ouch. And set things on fire. Youch. And make crazy sounds with their voice, which can mean different things.
Karushk. Karushk. I can't even say that.
That's a human person.
And now they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Ice Age.
What? You can walk over here? Cool.
Not anymore.
Well, I guess we're stuck here now. Let's review. There's people on the planet. And they're chasing their food. Fuck it. Time to plant some grass. Look at this. I control the food now. Now everyone will want to be my friend and live near me. Let's all build houses, except mine is bigger because I own the food. This is great. I wonder if anyone else is doing this. Tired of using rocks for everything? Use metal. It's underground. Better farming was just invented in a sweet dank valley right in between these two rivers, and the animals are helping.
Guess what happens next?
More food, and more people who came to buy the food. Now you need people to help make the food and keep track of the sales. And now you need houses for people to live in and people to make the houses. And now there's more people and they invent things, which makes things better. And more people come and there's more farming and more people to make more things for more people. And now there's business, money, writing, laws, power.
Society.
Society. It's so fast paced. I love it. It's crazy because in one of my older videos, I don't remember which one, I was talking about society. And I think I actually used that same example with the food, starting out with the food, where someone planted food, other people came to them, and that's basically what led to society in a nutshell.
Coming soon to a dank river valley near you. Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, the horse is probably being tamed. Why is all my metal so lame and lumpy? Tired of using lame, sad metal? Introducing bronze, made with special ingredient tin from the far lands of Tinland. I don't know.
Is that Spain? Where do you get tin from? Is it like limited where you can actually obtain it? Is it pretty rare? I mean, it doesn't seem like it's super rare.
I don't know, my dealer won't tell me where he gets it. Also, guess what? Meanwhile, out in the middle of nowhere, they figured out how to put wheels on a horse. Now we're getting somewhere. Also,
China.
And did I mention
Indus River Valley Civilization. Nordichico.
the Middle East?
Another thing to note is that all of these civilizations are forming, right? You got all the ones that he just listed, a couple more to come, well, a lot more to come, and a lot of them are spread out all over the globe and have no way of communicating with each other. So they independently formed these societies, not knowing that there were others out there doing the same thing. Independently came up with these systems. And granted, they're a little bit different, right? Not every civilization is the same, but they all consist of the same basic principles. Law and order, food, protection, those types of things. And they're all actually extremely similar at the core values of it. It's just kind of insane that at different ends of the globe that would happen, and that we all basically gravitate towards the same types of solutions. There was no outlier that we know of that actually made it through anyway.
East is getting more complicated. Maybe because it's in the middle of the East. Knock knock, or clop clop. It's the people with the horses. And they made an empire. And then everyone else copied their horses.
Greeks.
Ah, look, it must be the Greeks. Or a beta version of the Greeks. Let's check in with the Indus River Valley civilization. They're gone. Guess who's not gone?
They're gone. Oh, yeah, we're going to see that a lot. A lot of civilizations rising, and then boop, they're gone.
Gone.
China. New arrivals
China won't be
in
gone.
India. Maybe it's those horse people I was talking about, or their cousins or something. And they wrote some hymns and mantras and stuff.
We could make a religion out of this. There's the Bronze Age collapse.
Did we just simplify Hinduism to a single song verse? Gee.
Now the Phoenicians can get down to business.
Also, can we switch to a metal that's a little easier to find? Thanks. Look who came back to Israel. It's the 12 tribes of Israel.
And they believe in God.
Yahweh! Just one God. So is this Christianity basically turned down to one sentence as well?
Just one, though. He's got like a 10-step program. Here's some huge heads. Must be
A 10-step program. The 10 Commandments. 10 steps to recover your damned soul.
the Olmecs. The Phoenicians make some colonies. The Greeks copy their idea and make some colonies. The Phoenicians made a colony so big it makes colonies. Here comes the Assyrian Empire.
Fishing.
Never mind, it's the Babylonian Median.
It's the Persian Empire.
Wow,
Jeez.
that's big.
Honestly, if they would have showed us this in history class when I was in high school, or something similar to it, I would have paid a lot more attention and I probably would have got graded a lot better.
The Buddha was just enlightened. Who's the Buddha? This guy who sat under a tree for so long that he figured out how to ignore the fact that we're all dying. You can make a religion out of this. Oops, China just broke, but while it was breaking, Confucius was figuring out how to have good morals.
He was figuring it out, huh? China is going to break apart quite a few times, isn't it? And then bring itself back together and break apart and rinse and repeat. If I remember correctly, that happened quite a number of times in China's history. When I was in high school, I hated history. I hated it with a passion. Now that I'm obviously not in high school anymore, I graduated quite a while ago. Now I love it. Now I want to learn everything about it. And it's just kind of funny how that works because, boy, it sure would have been useful to be interested in it when I had to know it and had to get graded and on tests and stuff like that. That's the way the world works.
Ah, the Greeks just had the idea of thinking about stuff. And right over here, Alexander just had the idea of conquering the entire Persian Empire. It's a great idea. He was great.
He was
and
great.
Now he's dead. Hopefully the rest of the gang will be able to share the empire evenly between them. Knock knock, it's Chandragupta. He says, get the hell out of here. Will you get the hell out of here if I give you 500 elephants? Okay, thanks, bye.
Time to conquer all of India.
Wow.
Most of India.
Is that
But what about this part? That's the Tamil.
the Tamil Kings? Yeah. Okay. I remember about them. Didn't they basically run the spice trade or something like that? They were really important and kind of like untouchable because of that mostly, right?
Kings. No one conquers the Tamil Kings. Who are the Tamil Kings?
Merchants probably. And they've got spices.
Who would like to buy the
Called
spices? Me, said the Arabians, swiftly buying it and selling it to the rest of the world. Hey, China put itself back together again, with good morals as their main philosophy. Actually, they have 3 main philosophies.
Having good morals. Taoism, go with the flow. Legalism, F you, obey the law.
Out here, the horse nomads run wild and free, and they would like to ransack your city. Let's check the Greekification levels of the Greekified kingdoms. Greekification overload. Bye, said the Parthians. Bye, said the Jews. Hi, said the Parthians, taking
Whoa.
over the entire place. Hey, said the Romans, eating the entire Mediterranean for breakfast.
Jeez.
Thanks for invading our homeland, said the Jews, who were starting to get tired of people invading their homeland.
That's also going to become a theme.
Hi, everything's great, said some guy who seems to be getting very popular and is then arrested and killed for being too popular, which only makes him more popular. You can make a religion out of this. Want silk? Now you can buy it from China. They just made a...
Oh, the Silk Road. Oh, there goes Vietnam.
Sick, new trade routes, said India, accidentally spreading their religion to the entire southeast. That's a good place for an epic trading kingdom. There goes Buddhism traveling up the Silk Road. I wonder if it'll reach China before it collapses again. Remember the Persian Empire? Yep, said the Persians, making a new one. Axum is getting so powerful they would like to build a long stick.
Oh, the obelisk. The obelisk. Yeah, that was like a sign of power, wasn't it? You built an obelisk to just basically show how much resources you could spare. And that's how powerful you were, that you could spare the manpower and the resources to make this. Is that right? I think that's right. Because the Egyptians built obelisks for religious reasons, but these guys built them as a show of power, I believe.
Has anyone populated Madagascar yet? Let's do it together.
China's home again. Then it broke again.
Still can't cross the Sahara Desert? Try camels.
Hell yeah, now we got business.
Said the Ghana Empire, selling lots of gold and slaves. Hi, I live in the Roman Empire, and I was wondering...
Is loving Jesus legal yet?
No. Actually, okay, sure, said Constantine, moving the capital way over here to be closer to his main rival. Don't worry
Okay.
about Rome, it won't fall.
Foreshadowing. This is so insanely fast-paced, it's really hard to get a word in edgewise. And I don't want to keep pausing constantly.
It's the golden age of India.
There's the Gupta Empire, not Chandragupta, just Gupta. First name Chandra. The first. Guess who's in
Got
Rome?
it.
Barbarians.
What's a barbarian? Non-Romans, said the Romans, being invaded by non-Romans. R.I.P. Roman Empire. Or actually just half of it. The other half is just fine. But it's not in Rome anymore, so let's give it a new name.
Is that how the Byzantine Empire came into existence? It's basically Rome, but it's not in Rome, so they called it something else? I know that's probably simplifying a lot. Huh. I always wondered. I never actually knew how they originated.
Minds have figured out the stars.
Oh, and here's a...
And they predicted the end of the world, which was wrong. Actually, a lot of scholars believe that the Mayan calendar wasn't predicting the end of the world. That's just when they stopped. They were very, very far in the past, and 2012 was very, very far into the future. They probably never imagined that their calendar would be discovered around and actually interpreted around the time that it ended and would cause such a panic. they probably never would have imagined that. I mean, you have to stop somewhere. You can't just make a calendar go to the end of the time. 2012 was a long way away for them.
Huge city, population, everyone. The Gok Turks have taken over the entire Eurasian steppe. Great job, Gok Turks. How's India? Broken. How's China?
Back together.
How's those trading kingdoms?
Bigger and there's more of them.
I really like the coming back to China being broken and whole and broken and whole.
Korea has 3 kingdoms. Japan has a kingdom, it's the Sunrise Kingdom. Deep in the Arabian desert, on the top of a mountain, the real God whispers in Muhammad's ear. So he goes
can make
down
a
to
religion
Cuba
out of
and
that.
worships gods, and he tells them their gods are all fake. And everyone got so mad at him that he had to leave town and go to a different town. You can make a religion out of this, and maybe conquer the world as well.
Oh, yeah.
The Roman Empire's long gone, but somehow the Pope is still the Pope. Plus there's
New kingdoms all over Europe.
I wonder if there's room for Moors. Here's all the wisdom. In a house. It's the Baghdad House of Wisdom.
Wait, are we not just going to cover the Holy Roman Empire at all? Just skip right past that?
Just in time for the
Islamic Golden Age.
Let's bring stuff to the coast and sell it and become the Swahili on the Swahili coast, said the Swahili on the Swahili coast. Remember this tiny space you have to go through to get from here to there? Someone owns that now. Want to get enlightened in the middle of nowhere? The Franks have the biggest kingdom in Europe, and the Pope is so proud that he invites the king over for Christmas. Surprise, you're the new Roman emperor, said the Pope, pretending to still be part of the Roman Empire. Then the Franks broke their kingdom and...
What did that say? We gotta see what that
Surprise, you're
said.
the new Roman emperor, said the Pope, pretending to still be part of the Roman...
Definitely not the Roman Empire. Maybe technically the Roman Empire, which is now the Byzantine Empire.
Roman Empire. Then the Franks broke their kingdom into what will later be called France and not France. The Northerners, or just Norse if you don't have much time, are exploring. They go north, from the north to the northern north, and they find some land, 2 types of land, and they name them accordingly.
That is honestly, I know that's an English thing, right? But that is honestly probably one of the best things ever when you're growing up and you're learning about these countries and you see one that's green and one that's white ice. And yeah, the white ice one, that's Greenland. And the green one right next to it, that's Iceland. And that's just how it is. At least it's always easy to remember those two. You know, when you had to do those quizzes on which countries are which in school, I'm assuming everyone else had to do them. I know I had to back in the day.
Also invade some other places and get called many names, such as Vikings. There's the Rus, the Kievan Rus. Are they Vikings? I don't think so, said the Kievan Rus. Okay, fair enough. The Pope is ready to make some more emperors of the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire. It's actually Germany, but don't worry about it. New kingdoms.
Christianize all the kingdoms.
Which brand would you like? Mine's better. Mine's better.
That's actually one of the things that's so amazing about Europe is so much of the world's history has taken place there. Now, granted, you know, I'm not saying that other parts of the world aren't important. They certainly are. You know, especially there's a lot of places in Asia and, well, all over the place, right? But Europe was just so key in a lot of moments of history. And a lot of it survives today because people kept on in those areas. They kept living there. And you can actually go, there's pubs and stuff that have been open for over 1,000 years. There's at least one business that I've read about that was open since before Jesus. And they kept the building. They obviously have basically replaced everything in it over the years, but it's the same building and it's the same business. It's insane. It's like walking through a time machine. You can still go over there and see all the castles and everything. And in North America, where I am, we don't have as much of that. It certainly exists, but we just don't have as much of that.
Mine's better. Time to conquer England, said William. It's a bird, it's a plane.
It's the Seljuk Turks.
Said the Byzantine Empire, who's getting so small it almost doesn't exist anymore. We need help. They need help, so they call the Pope. Hey, Pope, can you help us get rid of the Seljuks?
Crusades?
Can you take back the Holy Land on the way? Come on, I know you want to take back the Holy Land. Yes, I do actually want to do that. Let's do a crusade.
Crusade.
They did many crusades, some of which almost didn't fail, but at least the Italians got some sweet trade deals.
Some of which almost didn't fail. Shots fired. Yeah, the Crusades were kind of not the best outcome. They were all pretty big failures. Lots and lots and lots of deaths is basically what they were. Lots and lots of needless deaths.
Goodbye, Mayans.
Hello, Toltecs.
Goodbye, Toltecs.
Hello, Mississippi.
Look at those mounds. There's the Pueblo.
Who are the people that did the mounds? Oh, I forgot about them. What are their names?
I always wondered how to build a town in a cliff. Guess who's
Those are really cool. I've seen pictures of that, and that is amazing.
here? Come here. Where? Here. And Pagan is there. Vietnam unconquered itself, Korea just became itself, and Japan is so addicted to art that the military might have to take over the government. China just invented bombs and typing. And the Mongols just invaded most of the universe. Nice going, Genghis. I bet.
What did they say? Something like a third of the world's population can trace his bloodline back to Genghis Khan. Not only did he conquer so much land, but he also spread his seed far and wide. Let's leave it at that.
Bet that will last a long time. Some of the Islamic Turks were unaffected by the Mongol invasions because they were busy invading India. Is it Tonga time? I think it's Tonga time. I just found out where the Swahili gets all their gold. Look at this Chad. Means lake. There's an empire there, right in the middle of Africa. The king of Mali is so rich he's going on tour to let
Mansa Musa, right? The richest guy in the world. Yeah, because didn't he was so rich that he actually went on tours showing off of his wealth. But it's estimated that he was probably the richest man who's ever lived, which is crazy. Think of the rich people we have today, and they can't hold a candle to this guy, allegedly. I don't know how you go about proving that these days, but
everyone know. Wow, that guy's rich, everyone said. The Christians are doing a great job reconquering Iberia, which will soon be called Spain and not Spain. Please remain Christian. We will check in later to see if you're still Christian when you least expect.
Do the Portuguese like being called not Spain? Jeez.
Whoops, half of Europe just died. China's back, yay! Hey, come here, time to share. New kingdoms here and there.
I love it. We just glanced over the Black Death, the bubonic plague, in a sentence. But it was brought up.
Look who controls all the islands. It's the Mahajapit, Majahapit, Mapajahit, Mahapajit, Mapajahit, Majapahit. Oh, Italy's really rich. Time for them to care a lot about art and the ancient classics. It's kind of like a rebirth.
Ah, the Renaissance, the great Renaissance. The art back in the Renaissance is amazing. If you ever have a chance, go look up or buy a book on some of the artwork from that time period. And you see this art. Now, art is transient, right? Art is open to interpretation and is in the eye of the beholder. But when you look at the art from the Renaissance especially, you start to see a shift where people now had time to actually devote their entire existence to art. Their entire life. They didn't have to hunt for food. They didn't have to forage for food. They didn't have to worry about fresh water supplies. Life was pretty stable, and their safety was relatively guaranteed. And they had a lot more time to actually spend their entire life on their art craft. And it just kind of takes that art up to the next level, if you will, compared to anything seen prior, for the most part. But there's just a difference here in the level of dedication and the level of intimacy of the art from this period that to me is just magical.
Here's a printer. Let's make books. So you think you can conquer the Byzantine Empire? Yep, said the Ottoman Turks. Nice job, Ottoman Turks. Oops, you missed a spot. Don't forget to ban Europe from the Indian spice trade. What? That's bullshit, said Portugal, spiceless.
Well, I guess we'll have to find another way to India.
That is a long route. Did they not realize that the earth was round at this point? Somewhere around the Renaissance. They may not have realized the earth was round, or that may have been a very contested topic back in the time with religion and the churches.
Wait, said Christopher Columbus, probably smoking crack. If the world is round, let's go this way to India. No, don't worry, we already got this, said Portugal. So Chris goes to Spain. Hey, Spain, want to hire me to find India by going around back of the world? No, please, no, please, no, please. Okay. So he sails into the ocean and discovers more ocean, and then discovers the Indies and Japan. Let's draw a line to decide who gets which half of the world. The Aztec and Inca empires are off to...
I love how Christopher Columbus discovered a land full of people. And on his voyage over, he actually had thought that they landed in India, which is why he called the Native Americans Indians. So that's actually where that originated from. It was a misconception. And then once they realized that they were wrong and they were not, in fact, in India, they didn't care. They just left it that way. What a dick.
A great start. I wonder if they know that Europe just discovered their continent. The Habsburgs are marrying into so many royal families they might have to start marrying each other. Move over, Lithuania. Here comes Moscow. Ivan wants to make Russia great again. Move over, Timurids. Maybe go invade India or something. Persia just made Persia Persian again. Let's make it the other kind of Islam. The one where we thought the first guy should have been the other guy. Hey.
I actually spent a lot of time studying religion when I was younger. I consider myself more agnostic than anything, but I still really enjoy the study of religion and the differences between, specifically, love, angelology, and demonology. I don't know why, but just that whole concept fascinates me, even though I don't really all that believe in it that much. But that's, my personal choice, and I don't think anything negatively about people who do. But I actually never understood the differences between the variations of Islam, and that would be something I'd be interested in learning more about.
Hey Christians, do you sin? Now you can buy your way out of hell. That's bullshit. This whole thing is bullshit. That's a scam. Fuck
Martin
the church.
Luther?
Here's 95 reasons why, said Martin Luther in his new book, which might have accidentally started the Protestant Reformation. You know what would be magnificent, said Suleiman wearing an onion hat? What if
What kind of hat is that? Oh my god. Why would they wear that?
the Ottoman Empire was really big, which it is now? What if Russia was big, said Ivan, trying not to be terrible. Portugal had a dream that they controlled the entire Indian Ocean, including the spice trade. And then that dream was real.
Portugal coming back. Or I'm sorry, not Spain coming back and stealing the spice trade. They deserve it.
And Spain realized that this is not India, but they pillaged it anyway. Damn, said England and France. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Then the Dutch revolt and all the hipsters moved to Amsterdam. Damn, said Amsterdam. We gotta start pillaging some stuff. Question 1, can you get to India through North America? No, but at least there's beaver. Question 2, steal the spice trade. That's not a question, but the Dutch did it anyway. Guess where all the sugar's made? In Brazil. Stolen. In the Caribbean. And it's so goddamn profitable, you might forget to not do slavery. The next
There's so much happening so fast here. Wow.
thing on Russia's to-do list is to get bigger. Britain and France are having a friendly discussion about who should control the entire world, more specifically Ohio. Then it escalates into a 7-year discussion, giving Russia a chance to show Austria who's boss. But what about Britain and France? Did they figure out who's boss? Yes, they did. It's Britain. Guess who's broke? Also Britain. So they start taxing the hell out of America. Fuck you, says America, declaring their independence and fighting for it.
And dumping tea in the harbor. It's like the biggest insult ever. Imagine Britain dumping a bunch of our coffee in the harbor. Oh, it's not even our coffee. We don't even make it here.
France helps them win. Now France is broke, and Britain will have to send their prisoners to a different continent. Wait, if France is broke, why do the king and queen still wear such fancy dresses? Let's overthrow the palace and cut all their heads off, said Robespierre, cutting everybody's head off until someone eventually got mad and cut his head off. You could make a religion. No, don't.
You could make a religion out of this. Oh, 14 and a half minutes in. And we've got like recurring jokes now. I love this so much. You can make a religion out of this. Let them eat cake.
Haiti is starting to like the idea of a revolution, especially the slaves, who free themselves by killing their masters. Why didn't we think of this before? Wait, who's in charge of France now? Said Napoleon, trying to take over Europe. Luckily, they banished him to an island.
But he came back.
Luckily, they banished him to another island. There goes Latin America, becoming independent in the Latin American Wars of Independence. Britain just figured out how to turn steam into power, so now they can make
Many different types of machines and factories with machines in them, so they can make a lot of products real fast.
The Industrial Revolution.
Then they invent some trains, and conquer India and maybe put some trains there. Hey, China, said Britain, buy stuff from us. Nah, dude, we already got everything, says China. So Britain tried to get them addicted to opium, which worked, actually. But then
I love how we're talking about super complex topics that have very intricate histories and backgrounds, and we're just bam, 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 super fast running through it, getting the point across, but in a way that's funny, entertaining, and brief. Yeah, and Britain actually did do that. They got the Chinese addicted to opium and made a huge business out of it.
Then China made it illegal and dumped it all into the sea. So Britain threw a hissy fit and made them open up 5 cities and give them an island. Britain and Russia are playing a game where they try to stop each other from conquering Afghanistan. Also, the
Sultan of Oman lives in Zanzibar now.
that's just where he lives. India just had a revolution, and they would like to govern themselves now. Nope, said Britain, governing them even harder than before.
Technology is about to go crazy.
The United States finally figured out whether slavery is good or bad. It's bad, they decided. And then they continued manifesting their destiny, which is...
A lot of people seem to misunderstand this, but the American Civil War, the reason that Lincoln decided to go for slavery was very political. It was not a personal belief of his that he had held prior, at least not strongly. The reason that he decided to abolish slavery, 100% political. it's still a very great thing. It's still a very good outcome that slavery was abolished. Slavery is an absolutely horrid thing that should have never existed. But a lot of people think that the Civil War was fought because Lincoln said, we don't want slavery. And that's not the full story. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not a historian. But definitely look into it a little more. It's quite an interesting and intricate detail and story. But it's not what a lot of us grew up thinking it was, or what a lot of us were taught in school, at least here in the U.S.
Just to kill the rest of the natives and take their land and maybe kick out the Mexicans too.
Human friendliness.
No, let's rape Africa, said Europe, scrambling to see who could rape it the fastest. They never got Ethiopia. Britain and France are still hungry. They never got Thailand. The United States ran out of destiny to manifest, so they're looking for more.
Hawaii, Cuba.
Wait, Spain controls Cuba. Well, blame something on them and go to war. What should we blame on Spain?
Let's
blame the Maine on Spain.
The Bay of Pigs, right?
So they blame the Maine on Spain. Now we're in business. To celebrate, they kick Panama out of Panama and make a canal, connecting the two oceans. Britain just found oil in the Middle East. It makes cars go. China is so...
The American flag popping up like, did you say oil?
so tired of being bossed around that they delete their old government and make a new, stronger government, which is accidentally weaker and controlled by a guy from the previous government. Europe hasn't had a war since the last war.
Wow, that was crazy. China has broken apart and gotten back together many, many times. I would be very curious if anyone knows how many times since China became China has it split apart, come back together, reorganized itself. I'd be really interested in knowing that.
So they start World War I. Look at those guns. It's going to be a great war. So great we won't need a second one. After it's over, they blame Germany. Russia went on...
It's true. They did blame Germany after the war. But you know what they say? The winners of the war write the history books, right?
strike and the workers overthrew the government. Now everyone's paycheck is the same.
Communism in the Soviet Union.
The Arabs revolt and Britain helps. Now the Ottoman Empire's gone, so we can give the
Jewish people a place to live.
Hopefully the Arabs won't mind. Let's cut the cake.
I'm sure they won't mind at all.
Cake, said Sykes and Picot, carving up the remains of the not-so-Ottoman anymore empire.
Except Turkey, Turkey makes a brand new Turkey.
And then the Saudis conquer Arabia. It just seemed like the right thing to do. Hello? Yes, it's the 1920s calling. Let's get in the car and drive to a party and listen to jazz on the radio and go to the movies. The economy's great and it'll probably be great forever. Just kidding. Germany's back featuring Hitler, the angry mustache model, and he's mad at the Jews for existing. Japan is finally conquering the East, and they're so excited they raped Nanking way too hard. They should probably just deny it. Hitler's out of control, so the international community tackles him and tries to explain why killing all the Jews is a bad idea, but he kills himself before they could explain.
Well, World War II was 2 sentences, so a little more detail on that one.
Explain it to him.
That's World War II.
Bonus round, Pacific Showdown.
Oh,
United
no.
States versus Japan. Fight. Finish him. Let's unite all the nations and have some
World peace.
Seems legit.
The UN is working so great, isn't it? It's working great. It's amazing. Everything's okay.
Hi, I'm Gandhi, and if Britain doesn't get the hell out of India, I'm going to starve myself in public. Wow, that worked.
It did work, too. It actually worked. Oh, my God. I mean, there was a lot more going on, than just Gandhi. But, yeah, it worked.
Bonus, now there's Pakistan. Actually, 2 Pakistans. One of them could be Bangladesh later. The Jews and the Arabs finally figured out which one of them should live in the Holy Land. Me, they both said at the same time. Let's divide up the land so everyone's happy.
Yeah, Israel has quite a complicated and intricate history. That's for sure. That is for sure.
Psych, they both get angrier.
Look out, China. There's a new China in China.
Again!
What's on the menu? Communism. No thanks, said the other China, escaping to an island. I wonder which one is the real China. There's the Korean War, Korea versus Korea. Nobody wins, then it's on pause forever. Let's meet the sponsors. Oh, it's the 2 global superpowers. They're having a friendly debate over which economic system is good and which one is an evil virus of Satan. And they both have atom bombs.
Yeah. That's actually something that I never really got. I mean, I do have a couple ideas, but why is it that each side hates the other side so much? Is it just because they're a threat to each other? As the 2 world superpowers, they're really the only ones that can give each other a hard time. People over here in America, typically speaking, really don't like communism. And people, from what I've heard, in like Russia and whatnot really don't like capitalism. Why is that? Is it just the dividing force? Is it just the dividing factor put in place by the governments to make the citizens hate the other one so that way they can justify basically fighting for their own power? Or is there more to it than that? Because to me, it seems like it's just a manipulative detail. If other people want to live under communism and that works for them, why do I care? Why do I care? If I was born in Russia or in China or any other communist country, and I grew up with that being my norm, I would probably be okay with it too. Capitalism certainly has its downfalls, as we keep finding out over and over again and not doing anything about, because capitalism and lobbying and bribes and corruption. So yeah, maybe we shouldn't stand on our high horse and preach to the world about how communism's so evil. Communism has its problems too, but show me a system with no problems. I dare ya. I don't think you can.
Fight! Wait, no, that would be the end of the world. Let's just keep it cool and spy on each other instead. And make sure we have enough atom bombs. I'll race you to space. Now let's make some more countries fight themselves.
Yeah. The Soviet Union got into space first, right? They put a dog into orbit, but we put people on the moon first.
Europe is tired of pillaging other continents, and the continents they were pillaging are tired of being pillaged. So here's a new map with new countries. Now you can't tell who they're being pillaged by. The United States finally decided whether racism is good or bad. They decided it's bad, and the world agrees. South Africa might need another minute to think about it. Let's check the world population. Whoa.
Yep.
Okay. Technology's better too, that might keep happening. The
Yep.
Soviet Union decides to relax a little and accidentally falls apart. Europe makes a union, so now they can all use the same money, except Britain because they don't feel like it.
That always got me. Why did Britain not switch to the euro initially? Is there a reason for that? Because I don't know it. I mean, I'm sure there has to be a reason for it. That's a pretty big detail, right? You don't think that it would just be made willy-nilly on someone's whim. There had to have been a thought process behind that and reasoning for why they didn't switch to the euro. If anyone knows, please let me know in the comments, because that's always bothered me.
Let's check the mail. Surprise, it's on the computer. Whoops, someone just attacked America. I bet they'll remember that. Phone call. Surprise, it's in your pocket. Want to learn everything? Surprise, it's on the computer. Now your phone's a computer, which is in your pocket. Whoops, the economy just crashed. Don't worry, the big banks won't fail because they're not supposed to.
Because they're not supposed to. Once again, capitalism, corporate greed, lobbying, corruption. All those words can summarize why that crash happened.
Surprise, flying robots. With bombs. Want to print a brain? Some people have no friends. Some people have no food. The globe is warming.
And the ocean is full of plastic.
Let's save the planet, said everybody, not knowing how. Let's invent a thing inventor, said the thing inventor after being invented by a thing inventor. That's pretty cool. By the way, where the hell are we?
Holy shikeys. What did I just watch? It was amazing, don't get me wrong, but wow. It was just a non-stop barragement of information. I have to say, for being a 20-minute video, this was done incredibly well. It kept my attention the entire time. At no point during that 20 minutes, well, more because I was talking, but at no point during that video did I ever get bored or lose interest. Not for a second. It was so fast-paced and entertaining. This guy did a really good job. I can see why this has so many views. And just remember, the goods are still on sale for free.